Nkiru Chigozie, not her real name but a pseudonym, is a third child in the family of four. In her 30s, she was diagnosed end-stage renal failure. After several months of dialysis, her family opted for a kidney transplant. Unfortunately, none of the kidneys of her siblings was a match.
But my mom's own did, but there was a problem. She's hypertensive and she could not donate her kidney because of that underlying illness.
The attractive option was a search for a donor. The donor was not Nkiru's blood relation, even though she was mute on the negotiated amount, but her body language clearly proved that her family coughed out a huge amount.
So how much was paid?
How much was paid? Well, money was paid.
It seems weird, but organ trafficking has become a flourishing business, paving the way for some people to smile to the banks. Investigations revealed that a harvested organ sells for not less than 1 million naira. Yet, it is an illegal transaction. In simple language, organ harvesting or trafficking is the unauthorized surgical practice of removing someone's organ and offer for sale to needy patients for transplant.
For you to do it so legally and ethically, you must be taking it from somebody who has given consent and is legally permitted to do so.
Now, the organs that are being harvested or that can be transplanted, we could transplant the kidneys, we could transplant the heart, the liver, and the lungs.
It is not uncommon in most medical centers, public and private, across Nigeria, to find able-bodied men and women loitering around to attract the attention of family members of patients in need of these organs. For a fee, without any inhibition, they offer their organs, blood, and even ovaries. AIT's investigations show that the thriving but illegal business is a clear violation of the National Health Act, which makes it an offense for a person or group of persons who have donated blood or related blood products to receive any form of financial or other rewards. Section 53, subsection 1 of the National Health Act anticipates that an individual will freely make such donation. Recently, a former deputy president of the Nigerian Senate, Ike Ekweremadu, hit the headlines globally for attempting to engage in organ harvesting. This careless development raised a critical question as regards issue of organ harvesting in Nigeria and all the laws relating to the practice.
Straight to this question now.
Not long ago, a professor of science came out with the revelation that the National Health Act 2014 allows human organ harvesting in Nigeria without consent.
Section 51 stipulates who authorizes an organ to be transplanted from a donor to a recipient. In that section, you do not see the donor. There is no one mention of the donor, but they mention the doctor who is in charge of operation of the hospital. Now, in section 48, where they purportedly are saying that no person should take an organ from another person without consent in the proper manner, they now introduce an exemption. And they say that exemption is emergency cases. What does that mean? You have a perfectly healthy person who is a donor. He has no emergency whatsoever.
The professor's exposition brings into memory an incident in September 2019 when the Medical and Dental Council Tribunal withdrew the license of one Dr. Yakubu Hassan Koji, based in Adamawa State, for gross professional misconduct. His offense was a deliberate act of tampering with the kidneys of his patient. Till date, nobody could tell what purpose the embattled doctor tampered with the kidneys of the patient who lost his life in the process. There was, however, a strong suspicion that he might have harvested the diseased kidney for money, even though he blamed it on a medical emergency. Dr. Lalikon Latishe, a consultant nephrologist and the medical director of Zenith Medical and Kidney Center, and says one of the reasons for the increase in organ harvesting and trafficking for a fee is because Nigeria lacks organ bank, or what he better described as diseased organ program.
That's what is obtainable in the West now. It's a way to go because all we need will be to have a proper legislation, proper laws put in place to make sure that that is regulated in the country.
Olatishe holds the view that the increasing level of crushing poverty in the country has turned organ harvesting, donation or trafficking an attractive business.
Poverty of the mind, not just, it is always better to share organs with your loved ones than when you talk about merchandising or commercial purpose.
He wants the government to ensure full implementation and enforcement of available laws in order to curb the disturbing trading of human organs. It is not only experts in the medical field that are worried about the human organ business. The United Nations not too long ago raised an alarm about the booming black market of human parts in several continents of the world.
It is safe to presume that if government continues to turn deaf ears to concerns from different quarters, this thriving but illegal business will continue to grow. Ogom Ezedimbo, AIT News, Abuja.